it's something we focus on. We focused on from the start about as a team being hard to beat, hard to break down, defending well as a unit. We know and we believe we've got players in the team that can create and score goals, and so we've kind of gone the other way, if anything.
Cobby, I mean, if you could have written a better week, could you have managed it?
Nah, definitely not. With committing my future to the club and then winning at Liverpool and topping off with a goal, and it's amazing.
Does scoring at the Stretford End against Liverpool ever get boring?
Absolutely not. I mean, I hope I can do it for the rest of my life and just bottle up that feeling, you know.
When that ball falls to you on the edge of the penalty area, it looks like there's only one thing in your mind, and that is make as solid a connection as you can.
Yeah, I mean, it was bouncing to me, and you just focus on keep it low, keep it away from the keeper.
Manchester United are back in the Champions League, and they got there the only way this club knows how, fighting until the last breath at Old Trafford in front of 74,000 people who hadn't felt this kind of joy in years. If you're a United fan, you need to hear everything that happened today, because this wasn't just a result. This was a statement. Stay with us until the end. This channel doesn't waste your time. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're not in yet. Let's go. Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2. Full time. Old Trafford erupted. And with that final whistle, Manchester United officially secured their place in next season's UEFA Champions League with 3 games still to play. 3 rounds to spare. That alone tells you everything about how far this squad has come. The game itself was everything you'd want from a Manchester United versus Liverpool match. End to end. Emotional, dramatic, and decided in the final minutes by the most fitting man possible, but we'll get to him in a moment. It was Matheus Cunha who opened the scoring. The Brazilian, who arrived from Wolves this season, has been one of the most consistent performers in this squad since day one. He got United on the board and set the tone early, pressing high, causing chaos in the Liverpool backline and finishing with the kind of composure that reminds you exactly why the club paid for him. His contribution in this game goes beyond the goal though. Cunha was everywhere, tracking back, winning headers, leading the press. He's become the engine of this attack, and today he showed it on the biggest domestic stage. Liverpool hit back. The visitors from Merseyside didn't come to Old Trafford to roll over, and for stretches of this game, they made United's life very difficult. The equaliser came, and, shortly after, Liverpool found themselves ahead. For a moment, just a moment, the noise dropped inside that stadium. You could feel the tension. 74,000 people holding their breath. But then, Benjamin Šeško happened. The Slovenian striker, signed from RB Leipzig, has been building momentum all season. And in a game of this magnitude, he delivered. His goal, clinical, powerful, exactly what a number 9 is supposed to do, pulled Manchester United level and sent Old Trafford back into full voice. Šeško's development under Carrick has been remarkable. He's gone from a player finding his feet in English football to a genuine match winner. And today, he proved it when it mattered most. That goal wasn't just an equaliser, it shifted the entire psychology of the match. At 2-2, with the clock ticking, United needed something special. And what this club got was something they'll talk about for years. Now there's something else you need to know about the atmosphere inside Old Trafford today. Something that gave this victory an extra layer of meaning. The squad took to the pitch wearing black armbands in support of Sir Alex Ferguson, who is currently hospitalised. Every single player. And those in the stands knew exactly what it meant. There are moments in football that go beyond tactics, beyond statistics, beyond league position. This was one of them. The greatest manager in this club's history is going through a difficult time, and the players responded the only way they could, by winning, by fighting, by giving everything on that pitch. And on top of all of that, this result has financial consequences that will shape Manchester United's entire summer. According to verified sources and insiders, the club now has an additional £16 million guaranteed just from the Champions League base prize money. 16 million, before a single game in Europe is played next season. That number will grow significantly once group stage and knockout bonuses are factored in. The return to the Champions League isn't just a sporting achievement, it's an economic reset that changes what this club can do in the transfer window. And we'll break down exactly what that means for the summer later in this video, because the numbers are eye-opening. But first, let's talk about the man who ended this match. The man who, on a night like this, wrote his name into Manchester United folklore. Kobbie Mainoo. 20 years old, academy product, born and raised in this club's system. And on the biggest night of Manchester United's domestic season, he stepped up, found the ball inside the box, and put it exactly where it needed to go. 3-2, Manchester United, game over. But here's what makes this moment so much bigger than just a goal. Days before this match, Mainoo signed a new contract with Manchester United, keeping him at Old Trafford until 2031. 5 more years. And when the ink was barely dry on that deal, he went out and scored the winner against Liverpool. The timing of this is almost too good to be scripted. A young man who could have left. A young man who had options. Other clubs, bigger offers, more money on the table. He turned all of it down. He looked at what Carrick is building here, looked at the direction this squad is heading, and said, I'm staying. And then, 48 hours later, he won the game that sent Manchester United back to the Champions League. In his post-match interview, Mainoo didn't hold back. He was raw, honest, and completely unfiltered. He said, "It's a blessing to play for this club. I want to die for Manchester United." Those were his exact words. Not a polished PR line, not a rehearsed answer. A 20-year-old kid from the academy, standing in the mixed zone at Old Trafford, telling the world exactly how he feels about the badge on his chest. That quote hit over 120,000 likes within hours. Because it's real. Because people can feel it. And it goes even deeper than that. Sources close to the club have confirmed that Mainoo turned down significantly higher wages elsewhere, not because he couldn't get them, but because he genuinely believes in what's being built at Old Trafford right now. That's not something you can manufacture. That's a player who has looked at his manager, looked at his teammates, looked at the project, and decided it's worth sacrificing money for. That kind of commitment is contagious inside a dressing room. It sets a standard. It tells every other player in that squad exactly what this club means and what it demands. According to verified insiders, this was also Mainoo's first goal since penning that new deal. First goal against Liverpool at Old Trafford to seal Champions League qualification. You genuinely could not write it better. The academy pipeline at Manchester United has been one of the most discussed topics of the season, and rightly so. Mainoo is the clearest example of what happens when you back young talent, give them responsibility, and build a culture they want to be part of. He's not just a player. At this point, he's a symbol of the direction this club is heading, and today, he delivered the most important goal of that story so far. Now, what does the man in charge have to say about all of this? Michael Carrick stepped in front of the cameras after the final whistle, and as always, he didn't overcomplicate it, but what he said carried enormous weight. His exact words, "The boys have been immense. The squad, the feeling, the spirit, the character. It's a real pleasure to be part of this." Read that again. He didn't talk about tactics. He didn't reference formations or pressing stats. He talked about spirit. He talked about character. He talked about the feeling inside that group. Because that's what's driving this team right now, and Carrick knows it better than anyone. He didn't stop there. In the press conference, cited by Sky Sports, a clip that has since accumulated over 85,000 views, Carrick added, "We have a team to be proud of." Simple, direct, and for a fan base that has spent years watching this club drift, that sentence lands differently. It's not a promise about next season. It's a statement about right now. About what's already here. And Carrick isn't the only one saying it. Roy Keane, former Manchester United captain, a man who is not known for handing out compliments freely, publicly praised what he called Carrick's mentality in the aftermath of this result. When Roy Keane says your manager has the right mentality, that is not a small thing. That is one of the most demanding footballing voices in the English game, giving his endorsement to the man currently sitting in the Old Trafford dugout. There's also a historical footnote to this win that adds another layer to what Carrick has achieved. Manchester United had not beaten Liverpool at home since 2023. That run, that frustrating, painful run, is over. Carrick ended it. On the night that also secured Champions League football. The symbolism of breaking that particular sequence, against that particular opponent, on that particular occasion, is not lost on anyone who follows this club closely. If you're not subscribed yet, do it now. We break down everything that matters at Manchester United. No filler, no noise. Hit the like button too. It genuinely helps us reach more United fans like you. Because what's coming next in this video is something that puts everything you've just heard into an even bigger context. Because this wasn't just a good result. Under Michael Carrick, Manchester United have done something that hasn't been done at this club since the days of Sir Alex Ferguson himself. City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Aston Villa, and now Liverpool. Michael Carrick has beaten all of them in the same Premier League season. That is 5 victories against the so-called Big Six, and it has not been done at Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson was in the dugout. Let that sink in for a second. Fabrizio Romano confirmed the update after today's result, and the numbers back it up completely. Carrick currently holds a 78% win rate against top 6 opposition since taking interim charge. 78% against the best clubs in the country. That is not a fluke. That is not lucky. That is a manager who has figured out how to prepare this squad for the highest level of competition and then deliver on it repeatedly. The comparison being made right now by journalists at The Athletic is with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's run in 2018, when he came in as interim and immediately caught everyone's attention with a string of results against elite opposition. But there's a key difference. Solskjaer's run came in a burst. Carrick's record against top 6 clubs has been built across an entire season, consistently in different contexts, home and away, with and without key players. That's a much harder thing to sustain. And yet here we are. What makes this record even more significant is the context surrounding it. This is a squad that has been rebuilt on the move, new signings integrating mid-season, young players being handed responsibility, and through all of it, the results against elite opponents have kept coming. Matthias Cunha, Benjamin Šeško, Patrick Dorgu, Brian Mbeumo. These are players who arrived and were immediately asked to perform at the highest level. And they have. The broader footballing conversation right now isn't just about what Carrick has achieved. It's about whether what he has achieved is enough evidence to make a permanent decision. And that conversation is accelerating fast. According to Fabrizio Romano and multiple high-engagement insiders with a consistent track record, Manchester United's board has already begun internal discussions about offering Carrick a long-term contract. Not preliminary talks, not vague conversations. Concrete discussions, triggered directly by the results of this season and accelerated by what happened today at Old Trafford. The picture inside the club is remarkably clear. The dressing room is fully behind him. Sources confirm it is unanimous. Every player in that squad wants Carrick to stay. That kind of unity doesn't happen by accident. It's built through trust, through consistency, through a manager who knows how to communicate with players and make them feel valued and directed at the same time. Carrick has done all of that. And the fan base? A viral poll published by UTD District, one of the highest engagement United accounts on the platform, showed 89% of supporters want Carrick confirmed as permanent manager right now. Not at the end of the season. Now. The number is almost hard to believe until you look at what he's actually delivered. 3rd in the Premier League Champions League secured, a winning record against every elite club in the country, and a dressing room that runs through walls for him. Carrick himself, when asked about the role, gave an answer that was characteristically understated, but telling. It feels pretty natural. 4 words. No grandstanding, no political manoeuvring, no campaign for the job. Just a man who has been given responsibility, has handled it with complete authority, and is letting the results do the talking. The timing of this decision matters too. Manchester United are heading into a summer transfer window that could define the next 3 to 5 years of the club's direction. Whoever is in the dugout permanently will have a direct say in recruitment, in the style of play, in the profile of players signed. Getting that decision right, and getting it right quickly, is essential. And right now, every indicator inside Old Trafford points in one direction. Champions League return unlocks a massive transfer budget for Manchester United. The return to the Champions League is not just a sporting milestone, it is a financial event. And the numbers attached to it are significant enough to change the entire shape of Manchester United's summer. Fabrizio Romano has broken down the financial picture. And the headline figure is this: the club is looking at between 40 and 50 million pounds in additional revenue from UCL prize money and market pool distribution alone. That's before a single ticket is sold, before a single broadcast deal is activated, before sponsorship bonuses tied to European football are triggered. The base numbers alone are transformative for a squad that still has gaps to fill. But the UCL money is only one part of the equation. The other part is what's leaving the wage bill. Casemiro's situation at the club is nearing resolution. His contract and salary, which represented one of the heaviest line items on the books, will free up significant space. Combine that with the ongoing resolution of Marcus Rashford's situation, the activation of Mason Greenwood's sell-on clause, and you are looking at an additional £15 million freed up in wages. Real money. Structural money that doesn't just help this summer, it reshapes the financial foundation of the squad going forward. Sources with direct knowledge of the club's transfer planning have confirmed that Manchester United already have targets identified for the June window. Those targets were conditional on Champions League qualification. That condition has now been met 3 rounds early. Which means the conversations that were happening quietly in the background can now move into a more concrete phase. The club isn't scrambling to react to qualification. They were ready for it. The planning has already been done. Think about what this squad already looks like. Matheus Cunha leading the attack with energy and goals. Benjamin Šeško developing into a genuine Premier League striker. Brian Mbeumo providing width and creativity. Patrick Dorgu bringing pace and dynamism to the left side. Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte anchoring the midfield. Bruno Fernandes leading as captain. Lisandro Martinez and Lenny Yoro as the defensive foundation. This is already a team capable of competing at the top end of the Premier League. Now add a healthy transfer budget, a freed-up wage bill, and Champions League football to attract players. The pieces are there for something genuinely significant. The United fans who have been patient, and there have been years that tested that patience severely, are now looking at a club that is pointed in the right direction at every level. Sporting results, financial structure, managerial stability, dressing room unity, academy integration, all of it moving in the same direction at the same time. Manchester United beat Liverpool 3-2 today. Matheus Cunha started it. Benjamin Šeško levelled it. And Kobbie Mainoo, the academy kid who turned down bigger money, signed a new deal, and then went out and scored the most important goal of the season. Finished it. Michael Carrick pumped his fist on the touchline, said exactly what needed to be said after the final whistle, and quietly continued building something that the rest of the Premier League is starting to take very seriously. The Champions League is booked. The record against the Big Six is historic. The manager the dressing room and the fan base want is right there. And the summer that follows all of this could be the one that truly sets the direction for the next era of this football club. If you made it this far, you already know this channel is worth your subscription. Hit that button, drop a like on this video, it takes 2 seconds, and it means everything for the channel. Manchester United are back where they belong. And we'll be here for every step of what comes next.